Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Spectrar here in another video. In Way Return Frontier, I wanted to do a little bit of an appreciation video and kind of give you a glimpse as to where this game came from. We know this game as it is now, showing all these graphics. Um, and some of you may have been there for that. I know I was, but there was a very early alpha of this game. Even like way before, I feel like it was way before the Kickstarter. May have been during the Kickstarter. But there was a very early alpha that is where I started playing this game and started really having fun digging into building ships and learning all the behavior of the different modules. But first I wanted to show you, and I guess I could have gone through all the different iterations between that and now, but I figured it'd be more fun to just show the two extremes. So you got your menu and all the fun, effects you got going on and the way how slick it looks. If we continue into a world, you got your cool ships, you got the cool music, you got the cool background effects, you got the cool lighting effects on the ships. The ships look really detailed. They move and when they fire, you got all the particle effects. We all seen inside the ship, you got, your different airlock systems and, different glowing effects in here. And it all just looks really modern and cool. And we can even go back. I don't really want to lose this ship, but it may not matter. You know what? Let's just go back to the station real quick. I'm willing to kill myself for this video. Even just coming out here in space, you can see all the cool effects out here. The fact that you can even do this. You can zoom in further on the ship and see more of the detail. Okay, I've died. Come back to the station. We got cool, recloning effects. Space station looks really cool. You have a space station. All the different modules look really cool. It's just a very modern top-down but still pixelated game, if that makes sense. Now I would like to show you what the game, when I first got into it, what it first looked like. There may have been something before this publicly released, but I'm pretty sure this is the very first version of the game that existed, and I'm very glad I kept a hold of it just for nostalgia purposes. Okay, here we go. I had to full screen it, which it kind of scales. You'll notice that there's no more background music. Look at this. Look at these graphics. This just gives me a huge nostalgia trip. Can I click on? Here we go. Yeah. So you had your basic. See, there's some sounds. You could select your ship, create different profiles, and there was kind of a multiplayer, which me and a buddy of mine got kind of working one time, and it kind of worked. It's extremely buggy though, but it was really fun. It was fun to test and design ships. But if we go into design, look at this beauty. Doesn't that just look great? I love it. This just brings me back so much. This is where it started. This was the ship design. You got your shields, you got your armor. I mean, we look at modules on the right-hand side. Look at all these different modules. I mean, to give you an idea, this was... Here, let me pick something smaller so it's not like in the way so much. No, this. That. I can't... There we go. I had to scroll to it. This was an engine, and then you had injectors into your engine, and based on how many injectors you had, determined your output of your engine. This was a shield generator. These were capacitors. These little orange things are your conduits. Oh, that's what it was. I'm scrolling through it. There we go. You got your thruster or your like side thrusters to like maneuver. Got your engines. You got all sorts of different sizes of engines. It's got a large one in it right now. You had your docking ports. Here's a docking port. Oh, God, it was beautiful. You had your airlocks and your walls to separate things. You had your walkable conduits and your blocking conduits, your beds. It was just such a fun way to design. You had larger ships, too. I mean, this wasn't the only one. If I exit this and select a ship, and I click new profile, you can look at all the different holes that they had available. They had some really fun designs that you can kind of see where the inspiration from some of the current designs came from. It actually came from, you know, this past thing. But I wanted to host a sector with our selected ship. Let's go into empty space. Now you can't, WASD is just moving around the camera, but you right clicked and your character would move to the spot. You may have noticed the airlocks actually work. Well, I lied. They don't move. I thought they moved for a second. They don't move, but you can pass through them. You can see that this is a spot that you can't get past. You have to go through the doors. I click through here, and they actually had some really good pathing that was, you know, quick and efficient. You had your different hallways to get to things. You could repair, and you had your turret mounts, which actually still look quite similar to the old ones. Look at this. You had to design your ship around. You just had the full open floor plan. You didn't have hallways or anything. You just had the open space of the ship. And you needed to still cordon off sections, because if this place, if we got damaged here and this got breached, you would lose air, and you actually needed to like section off so you didn't lose air to your entire ship, which could quickly become a problem. And what you do is you had your oxygen generators over here, and once you fixed the damage, your seal, I guess, would technically come back on the ship, and this thing would slowly fix it up. You still had your structure, your armor. Look at this, and now I can drive up to the ship, right click. Look, driving is actually still very similar. You still got your like hold down left click and your ship rotates. You got your moving. How to get out? I think it's escape. Space to get out. I don't think I have a gun selected for the ship, which is why it's not firing. But I think it's great. I'm laughing because it's just such a stark difference, and it's bringing back a lot of memories of like spending hours playing this version of the game. I think, honestly, even though this version existed probably the shortest amount, I probably played this version of the game more than I played the current version. But if I come into here, I can actually spawn an enemy ship. Actually, the exact same as this one, and he'll start firing at me. Look at those sound effects. Look, you can see the turret mounted on there, moving around and wiggling. So he's slowly going to start hurting me. You can see where my shield is slowly not doing enough of a job. But if I get out of that, we can kind of come down. Hopefully he'll get to a point where he's damaging me quicker. I mean, you can see the shield's getting hit. Yeah, look at that. Now, if I come down here and click on this, there we go. You get the little wrench symbols for repairing. And your guy will slowly start repairing them. That was kind of the version of the repair gun. It was really slow and efficient, but I want to get him out of the way because I'm assuming at some point Mr. Big McNasty is actually going to damage me enough to breach. So I lose oxygen. I want you guys to see that. While that's actually getting damaged, you can actually see output numbers of like the capacitors. All this information just right at your fingertips, but he's close to breaching. There we go. So it breached, but our oxygen guy actually brought it back up to speed really quick. So I guess it doesn't need to be resealed off for it to not breach. Each time like a broken tile is down, it essentially re-loses oxygen. I want a different section breached. So I'm actually going to... God, that's really loud in my ears. I'm going to rotate my butt towards him. Ah! So as you can see in here, I'm slowly losing health. And I can safely go back into a less damaged part and still breathe. But you can see the full effect here. Oh, I love it. So you can kind of see where some of the current designs and features came from, where some of the modules kind of existed, and like these are all structure modules. You could customize your way your structure did, but it was less efficient than having a full structure module. It was just a it came from a cool base, and I thought it might be fun for you guys to see and be able to appreciate where this game started and came from, and kind of also treat it as a dev appreciation type of video, because they really have clearly put a lot of work into this game, making it look nice with the onboarding of their art designer, and just the mechanics of the game have come a far away. There's obviously no campaign to this. This is just like a shipbuilding sandbox kind of a game where you'd build a ship and test it and see how well it did, the different designs. But hopefully that was fun for you guys to see, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.